ya van días y varias semanas.
He hasn't given no response, and it's been days and it's been weeks, and he hasn't said anything. Y espero logren su objetivo de la justicia a su país. Luchen por su país. Say the best, basically fight for your country. Están bloqueando el acceso. ¡Viva! Porque la Policía Federal o la autoridad nos está deteniendo el acceso y nos está deteniendo el paso para poder cruzar hacia el Zócalo, señores.
Good evening. Good evening to everybody. How's everybody doing? How's volume 2 there we go. How's everybody doing? I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News and America's Voice News. God bless everybody that is watching. God bless my country of Mexico, my city of Tijuana, and God bless the United States of America. Let's thank God for giving us 2 legs, 2 arms, a mind that we can think, a heart that we can feel, and eyes that we can see. How's everybody doing? Good evening to every single one of you. Today we did something real different, and I believe that it's important for us to. I just finished a live feed in Spanish, and I will continue to do Spanish live feeds interviewing our people in Mexico and also migrants, absolutely, ultimately, because they are the ones that they are affected directly right now due to this Biden policy that is a broken policy. And now they're blaming this stay in Mexico policy on, because it's still current in the Biden administration. They're blaming the past administration. They're going to be just like AMLO, blaming the past administration, the past administration, the past administration. Everything is the past administration. We are just saints being sent by heaven. And today, people, we interviewed some Tijuana citizens that I believe that it's extremely important for you guys to know what they think about the current situation in the migrant camp Hope in El Chaparral. These migrant camps, they're for one purpose, to help them achieve the political and refugee asylum. Although right now you get to understand that possibly they know that they are not going to get the political asylum number right there at that particular time or moment. So you kind of understand that they would, go to a shelter or something like that. But there has been effects on the economy around the migrant camp Hope. There has been effects on how it has been affecting the citizens of Tijuana. And I did like around 7 interviews with 7 people. I could go the whole day doing interviews. I can do 20, 30 people. But, I believe that I will go slowly on a daily basis and through other neighborhoods to explain to people that this is a crisis. And you ask the people himself, because people in Congress in the United States of America, sitting nice and pretty, over there, they're calling it a challenge. People in mainstream media, on the leftist mainstream media, looking all really good and nice with their hair, really beautiful on the screen. They're calling it a challenge. People from liberal medias, and you know that they're sitting down at a desk and just writing columns and all this. They're calling it a challenge. People that live in Tijuana and they're actually seeing the chaotic situation and how these people are suffering badly because of this decision of this current administration. They're saying it is a crisis. People that actually live over here, that we actually live over here, we know that this is not a challenge. You don't play with people's lives. So it's not who wins and who wins not. And if you're going to accomplish it or not, it is a crisis. And you got to address it like one and fix it. And these are interviews, and I will translate all these interviews for you guys. As we went today walking on the city of Tijuana, and this is the first interview that we did. This is a taxi driver, really nice man, and it's an interview that it goes by 2 minutes and 44 seconds. So I will pause at the questions, and then I will pause when he answers, because all of it is in Spanish for everybody that is watching. All of it is in Spanish. So I will try to translate as much as quick as possible for people to try to understand what is the exact situation, and ultimately for you guys to understand how Mexican citizens are categorizing this situation. I just put the word crisis. They can have their own, definition. They can say, no, it is a challenge. Es un reto. Esto es un reto. Esto es un reto. They can say that. But other people can say it is a challenge. Or other people can say it is a crisis. Whatever you want to designate the situation from. And this is a first interview. And let me just, this is a taxi driver that works close to the area. And, I asked him about the violence and the delinquents that is occurring right now in Tijuana. And ultimately, I asked him about the situation at the Camp Hope border of Chaparral. That is happening right now. So there's a question that says, so are you going to continue to help them? If I have the capacity and my capability of giving them food and giving them clothing and giving them what they need, yes, I will continue. It is a humanitarian crisis. Remember that. Remember that. People are in need, and this is provoked by an administration and past failed policies. Please don't have your heart is possibly a rock. I don't know. But if you see a child suffering in a migrant camp, you intend to help. But right here, these are the trickle effects that are happening with these statements. With these statements of Joe Biden. So this is an interview. Let me go to the interview real quick and try to do it as fast as I can and as quick as possible. So this is an interview with a cab driver that works real close to the area, and I ask him if this is a crisis or not, and ultimately I ask him if this has affected his pockets.
Oscar de Blue para Oscar de Blue, aquí en Tijuana, Baja California, señores, en vivo con un paisano, aquí un taxista, el cual ejerce sus labores cerca de la línea internacional.
Oscar Blue for Oscar L. Blue. I'm right here with a paisano that works really close to the port of entry of El Chaparral.
Cuestiones de inseguridad. ¿Cómo se siente usted en estos momentos con el actual gobierno? Estamos a una alza de feminicidios y también.
And questions of insecurities. How do you feel with the current government? We are, there's a high number of killings of women.
De asesinatos en nuestra ciudad de Tijuana, Baja California. ¿Cuál es su opinión y cómo se siente usted seguro?
And also with homicides in Tijuana, Baja California, how do you feel right now?
No solamente usted como taxista, sino también con su familia.
And not only your opinion as a cab driver, but also for your family. What is your opinion?
No, pues realmente con el gobierno actual que tenemos, por sí nos sentimos un poco más seguros porque.
And just talking about the current government, we feel a little bit more secure, not secure, but we feel a little bit more secure.
Cuestión de eso, por la ley ha cambiado un poco.
In change of governments, the law has changed a lot.
Pero anteriormente con los otros gobiernos, por sí estaba.
But with the past governments, we had a big issue.
Completamente hasta con la propia seguridad no estaban.
And it's just the word insecurity was the same, insecurity.
De eso porque realmente totalmente, principalmente la policía municipal.
And principally, you know, the municipal police.
En lugar de protegernos,
instead of protecting us, they were complicating our lives.
La situación en el Chaparral es crítica.
The situation in El Chaparral is critical.
Nadie ha preguntado a los ciudadanos si les ha afectado a los ciudadanos.
Nobody has asked if the situation in Camp Hope and El Chaparral is critical. Nobody has asked the citizens if they have been affected by this.
Ustedes les afecta plenamente por el turismo, me imagino.
To you guys, it affects you directly in your pockets and you know, because tourism comes right here.
Y en segundo lugar, pues en los bolsillos. Su opinión acerca de lo que está sucediendo ahí en el Chaparral.
And secondly, you know, it affects your pockets. Your opinion of what is occurring right now in the Chaparral.
¿Y cómo se puede componer?
And how you can fix it.
Pues esperemos que ya pronto se componga y abran eso porque la verdad ya.
We are hoping that, you know, quickly they can fix it and they can open it.
Ya nos está afectando mucho.
Because it is affecting us enormously.
Económicamente, pasaje casi no hay.
Economically, it is affecting us, and you know we don't have no passengers.
Pero luchamos por salir adelante.
But we're fighting to move forward.
Y con este gobierno actual que tenemos, pues gracias a Dios se ha compuesto un poco mejor.
And with this current government, you know, it is getting a little bit better.
Mucha gente en Estados Unidos dice que no es una crisis migratoria. Yo la veo como una crisis por lo que está pasando en Tijuana, Baja California y todas las fronteras. ¿Usted cómo la ve?
A lot of people, they don't see it as a crisis over here. Me as a Tijuana citizen, I see it as a crisis because I see what is happening at the borders. How do you categorize this situation?
Pues realmente son crisis migratorias y son crisis políticas. Porque eso
But in the reality is not only just a migrant crisis, it is also a political crisis.
No viene porque migración quiere venirse, simplemente porque son.
This is not just an effect of migrants trying to come. It is just political, and it is a crisis, a political crisis.
Movimientos políticos.
This is political movements.
Y son que, pues, la gente del sur sí tiene muchas necesidades, ¿verdad?
The people from the south, they have a lot of necessity, but these are just it is a migrant crisis and it is also a political crisis.
¿Cuál cree que se fuera la solución ahí en el Chaparral por la crisis migratoria?
What do you think it is the solution right there in el Chaparral due to the migrant crisis?
Que se vive.
Pues la solución es que abran pronto, lo más pronto que se pueda.
The solution is that they open quickly and they open as fast as they can as possible. This is one of the interviews that I did with a cab driver from Tijuana, a citizen, a Mexican citizen, a Tijuana citizen, a concerned citizen of the situation in Camp Hope, how it is affecting, you know, the surroundings and how it is affecting the businesses and the Tijuana citizens, the economy of Tijuana citizens. That is most importantly that the economy of Tijuana citizens, how it is affecting, because you got all these nonprofit organizations that they go over there and they say, oh yeah, we're doing this, we're doing that, but they don't ask the Tijuana citizens how they feel about this. And ultimately, you know, they don't ask them because they know it is, they're not going to respond, you know, assertively to the situation. And, you know, this is the truth. This is another Tijuana citizen that he owns a food stand. And, you know, he has his own little business. You know, it's a mom and pop business right here. And I talked to him as soon as, you know, as he is working and he is close to the Chaparral camp. He's really close to the Chaparral camp. All these people that I interviewed, they are close to the Chaparral camp. So listen to what he has to say. Here's another one.
¿Qué tal? Saludos, muy buenas tardes, Oscar el Blue, en vivo todavía aquí en las inmediaciones del Chaparral.
How's everybody doing? It's Oscar Blue. I'm right here in the mediations of El Chaparral.
Hablando aquí con un paisano, un tijuanense, pequeño contribuyente que tiene su puesto.
Talking right here to a paisano that he has a mom and pop business close to El Chaparral.
Tortas y de hot dogs.
That he sells tortas and hot dogs.
Vendemos tortas, hamburguesas, hot dogs y quesaburros.
How's everybody doing? We sell tortas, hot dogs, and also burritos.
referente a la situación que se vive ahorita en el Chaparral con la cuestión migratoria,
In reference to the situation in El Chaparral, the migrant situation,
¿cómo le ha afectado a usted en el comercio? Porque prácticamente estamos en una zona turística.
how it has affected you in commerce, because practically we are in a tourist spot.
¿Cómo le ha afectado a usted?
How it has affected you.
Realmente sí nos ha afectado, ¿no? Han bajado mucho las ventas a raíz de todo esto.
In reality, it has affected us a lot. You know, the sales have gone down a lot.
La pandemia, ahora con la migración de...
And, you know, not only with the pandemic, you know, that is occurring, the COVID, but also
Nos ha afectado demasiado.
the migrants, the Central Americans and the Haitians right now in Camp Chaparral. It has affected us a lot.
Mucha gente en Estados Unidos no lo llama una crisis migratoria.
A lot of people in the United States don't call it a crisis. Don't call it a migrant crisis.
De entender lo que realmente está pasando, ¿usted lo considera una crisis?
They don't want to know what is really happening over here. Do you consider it a crisis?
Pienso que sí, no, es una, pues, a mi punto de vista sí lo es.
You know, yes, it is a crisis. And to my point of view, yes, it is a crisis.
No.
¿Cómo ve usted los términos de seguridad ahí en el Chaparral? He visto mucha queja de que hay mucho desorden, la suciedad, los niños, pobrecitos, ¿no? En un lugar.
How do you feel the situation in terms of security right there at Camp Hope in the Chaparral? There's a lot of insecurities. There's, you know, lack of hygiene, and, you know, you the kids, poor kids, that they're walking around in this atmosphere.
Que no es higiénico. ¿Cómo lo ve usted?
How do you see it?
Yo pienso que ahí falta estrategias o el gobierno, ¿no? Que se planee ahí.
I think that, you know, there's a lack of strategies, and also the government.
Hay mucho, como usted dice, falta mucho ahí lo que es sanidad, baños.
And there's a lot of, you know, lack of hygiene, and they need portable bathrooms.
La gente, pues, por necesidad, hace donde quiere.
The people with necessity, they do their necessities all around the place.
Aquí alrededor de la plaza y sí está muy.
You know, around this plaza, and it is really dirty.
¿Qué cree que fuera la solución y qué mensaje le manda al gobierno del estado para esto?
What do you think it is the solution, and what message do you send to the you know, to the government of state?
Pues ahí yo pienso que toda esa gente, no sé, yo a mi punto de vista me están dando asilo.
You know, I believe, you know, to all those people right now, they're not given asylum.
La gente, no sé cómo se llega a venir, se telefonean, se llaman.
The people, I don't know how they're coming. They're calling themselves through the phone. They're texting themselves.
No sé, yo pienso que lo más adecuado es que se los lleven a unos albergues.
I think that the most accurate thing to do is that they take them to shelters.
Unos albergues, así es.
I believe that they should take them to shelters. And then, you know, I say to him, it was nice to meet you. What are you selling? Are you selling tortas and all that kind of stuff? This is another interview with another Tijuana citizen, which he is giving his opinion about how he is being affected by the camp that is ultimately turned into a really, you know, secluded camp where nobody can go in, only the nonprofits, United States nonprofits, and also some Mexican nonprofits, some Tijuana nonprofits. But ultimately, nobody can go in without no permission. And it is a public area, and it is a public place. It's amazing. This is another interview. And this is, you know, that was a mom and pop owner. This is a mom and pop business owner. This is an interview with a general manager from a pharmacy. Also around that area, as you can see on the back, you see the Easy Park parking lot. That is the Easy Park parking lot in the Chaparral border. That is close to the migrant camp. And this is an interview with a general manager at a pharmacy. And I asked him how much. This is amazing, the percentage that he says that the sales have affected the market, the pharmaceutical market. It is just amazing, the percentage that he says. Listen to this interview.
Oscar Blue para Oscar Blue Noticias. Estamos aquí con, básicamente un encargado de una farmacia. No vamos a decir su nombre por razones de.
Hi, this is Oscar Blue. I'm not going to say his. We know we're live right here at a pharmacy with the person in charge. I'm not going to say his name for security reasons.
Por razones de seguridad. Pero es importante que los ciudadanos empiecen a hablar de Tijuana sobre la situación
But it's important that the citizens of Tijuana start speaking out about the situation in El Chaparral.
que está sucediendo aquí en el Chaparral. Es una farmacia que se encuentra a la vuelta de la entrada
This is a pharmacy that is around the corner from the pedestrian entrance to El Chaparral.
peatonal del Chaparral. ¿Qué tanto ha afectado el comercio para ustedes?
How much the commerce, this situation in El Chaparral has affected the pharmacies?
¿Qué tal? Gracias, muy buenas tardes. Pues sí, ya esto ha ido incrementando bastante, pues ya.
Yes, hi, how you doing? Yes, this has been increasing a lot.
El cierre del Chaparral ya tiene alrededor de un año.
The closing of El Chaparral border has been almost for 1 year.
Pasadito. Pues aquí en la zona, en su mayoría, más del 60% de nuestros clientes pacientes son americanos.
In the majority of our clients, 60% of the majority of our clients are U.S. citizens.
Entonces esto ha sido pues malo.
So this has been really bad.
Si bien no ha habido cierres de farmacias, sí ha afectado
If not, pharmacies haven't closed, but it has affected.
bastante en la venta, alrededor
It has been affected on sales.
yo creo que un 40%.
Around 40% of the sales have affected.
Ha disminuido y pues entonces pues, lo bueno que igual aquí seguimos, ¿no?
And it is the good thing that we are still standing right here and we're still working. 40% of the sales. A lot of the situation in these businesses have been affected because of the closing of of COVID. What happened with COVID? They closed El Chaparral. This man is actually saying that it has increased due to the fact of COVID, but ultimately now you add to the factor that the migrant camp Hope is right there, and it is more affecting tourism. 40%. Wow. Holy cow. 40% at a really established business, a pharmaceutical established business. 40%, for God's sake. And we did only 7 people. I could go on the whole day doing interviews around the whole area and give it and get explanations from small business contributors on what they think about this situation, if it is a crisis or not. Listen to this other interview that I will put right here on the screen for you guys. This is an interview, and this is, I believe, this is a dentist. This is a young guy, a young dentist guy. Right here. Let me put him on the screen. This is a dentist. So this is a young man that already established his career, and he has his business right there in El Chaparral. This is a plaza close. It's next to the Chaparral. It's next to El Chaparral. It's just next to El Chaparral. So this business, he is a dentist. And look what he says about if it is a crisis or not, or if it is affecting their businesses. Look how it's, this situation is affecting the economy. Hear this out.
Oscar Blue de nuevo aquí en el Chaparral, hablando con un dentista jovenazo y prácticamente aquí caminando y
Oscar Blue, talking right here to a young dentist,
preguntándoles cómo les ha afectado la situación.
And right here walking around and asking them how this has affected the situation of El Chaparral.
Que se vive, la situación crítica migratoria en el Chaparral.
And the critical migration situation that is living right now in El Chaparral, how it has that affected your business?
¿Cómo les ha afectado sus negocios? ¿Cómo les ha afectado? ¿Cómo has visto tú la situación?
How it has affected, and how do you look at the situation?
Pues en afectado, pues sí se ha visto bastante afectado. De hecho,
well, and if you're talking about affected, yes, we have been affected a lot.
Pues las calles están solas.
The streets are alone.
No hay mucho, bueno, por lo menos a mí como dentista, pues no hay muchos pacientes.
And in terms of me as a dentist, I don't have no patients.
Está más baja pues el trabajo y pues.
The job is really low. We don't have no patients.
En cuanto a soluciones.
In terms to solutions.
Pues no sé, yo pienso que pues, lo más pronto posible que se pueda empezar
I don't know, as quick as possible that, they can start circulating this
a circular para que no haya tantas trabas al pasar.
so they not have so many, chains or locks or something that it can interfere with the process. We need to start circulating this.
Tanto pasar como pues, ahí en el chaparral, ¿no?
As for going into the United States on the Chaparral and coming out.
Hay muchas, ahorita estaba hablando con unos taxistas y me dicen, es que no hay higiene, ¿no?
I was talking to, certain taxi drivers, and a lot of them, they were telling me that there's a lack of hygiene in there.
Se ve muy mal ahí la situación
The situation is really bad right there in the Chaparral.
Mucha gente norteamericana no le llama a esta situación migratoria una crisis.
A lot of people in North America, U.S. citizens, they don't call this a crisis.
Mucha gente sí la ve como una
A lot of people, they see it as a crisis.
crisis. ¿Tú cómo la ves?
How do you see it?
Sí, yo pienso que también que es como una crisis, ¿no? O sea, sí afecta, a lo mejor no piensan que
Yes, I believe that it's a crisis, and it is affecting.
no afecta, que es algo así.
And a lot of people these people that they're speaking, they say, that it's not affecting.
Cualquier cosa, pero pues, sí, como sea, afecta
Oh, yeah, but, these people are thinking, oh, yeah, it's not affecting. But yes, it is affecting.
bastante.
And enormously it's affecting. And then I say,
Realmente esta gente es la que vive en Estados Unidos, no vive
and generally these people are saying that it's not a crisis. They live in the United States.
acá, ¿no?
Sí, generalmente sí.
Yeah, generally, yes. Those are the people that they live in the United States.
Pero bueno, está bien.
That is an interview with a young dentist. Tijuana, young dentist. For all the leftist media that they're saying it's a challenge, Tijuana citizens practically saying what it is in their eyes of how they see it in our country. This is another interview also. This is an interview that you guys are going to be amazed of this interview with this taxi driver that he has worked El Chaparral station. This taxi driver explains who is in charge of the migrant camps. Not only that, he explains what they're doing in the camp, and that ultimately he is extremely upset. He is extremely upset of the situation and how it is affecting their pockets and their family. Look at this interview. Hear this one out.
Oscar de Blue para Oscar de Blue Noticias. Señores, muy buenas tardes. Estamos en vivo desde Chaparral. Aquí con un ciudadano tijuanense, un taxista.
Hi, how's everybody doing? Oscar Blue for Oscar Blue News. We're live at Chaparral right here with the cab driver.
Y es justo el tiempo de empezar a preguntar de la situación que se vive.
And I think that it's time for us to ask the situation that it is occurring right now in the Chaparral.
En el Chaparral, en cuestión de los migrantes que están acampando afuera de
In terms to the migrants that they are camping outside of El Chaparral.
Las instalaciones de la entrada peatonal. Su opinión acerca de lo que está pasando y si es crítico para ustedes, porque me comentas les afecta prácticamente directamente a sus bolsillos.
The situation of what is happening in Chaparral, your opinion, if it is critical, and you're telling me, it is affecting directly our pockets. Your opinion.
Sí, nos afecta ahora sí que en un 100%.
Yes, it is, it is affecting us, 100%.
Porque se quedaron ellos, automáticamente ahorita pues no lo han abierto por ellos.
Yeah, because since the camp and the migrants landed right there at Chaparral, practically they haven't opened in Chaparral because of them.
Y lamentablemente sí nos afecta demasiado.
And, sadly, yes, it is affecting us entirely.
Te das cuenta, o sea, no hay trabajo ahí, o sea, está todo cerrado.
Yeah, there's no job right there. It is closed. Everything is closed.
Y luego aparte de eso, pues ahí es un foco de infección. Lo que...
And it's not only that, it is an infected circle.
Es ahí los niños,
The kids, the people.
o sea, si te das cuenta es un verdadero un desastre ahí.
If you look at it that way, and if you go right now, it is a complete disaster if you go right now.
Ahí en la garita.
right there at the pedestrian port of entry of El Chaparral.
Estaba comentando tu compañero también aquí que está también.
And it was your partner right here that he's on the side. You can't see him for the audience that is watching on YouTube and on Facebook. His partner is on the right, on the left side. And I did an interview with him, but he was so mad that he started using other language that I cannot put on the screen. That he was trembling of how upset he was. And I say to him, your partner right here, he was commentating.
De una manera muy molesto, que se vive una inseguridad también total ahí, ¿no?
That, you know, your partner was commentating that there's a lot of insecurity right there at the migrant camp.
Se golpean, se pelean.
That they have been fights, that they have been, you know, fights between them.
Y hay una completa irregularidad ahí.
And there's a irregularity inside of the camp. Your opinion?
Sí, o sea, si te das cuenta, ahí ves el fin de semana se pueden a tomar.
Yes, you know, if you get to know, you know, on the weekends they start drinking.
Se pueden a comprar cerveza.
They start buying beer.
Una caseta policial que tenemos ahí, que nosotros la creamos, nosotros que trabajamos ahí todos los días.
There was a little police station that, you know, we as cab drivers, we used to take care of it.
Tenemos cuidado, ya está vandalizada.
It is already vandalized.
Quebraron los vidrios.
They cracked the windows.
Se meten ahora sí que hasta drogarse ahí.
And also they go inside the police station sometimes to use drugs.
Va la patrulla, los agarra, pero no entiendo por qué no se los llevan, la verdad.
The police goes over there, and I don't understand why the police doesn't take them.
No sabemos por qué. Y la verdad, pues estamos
We don't know why. And to be honest, we are really inconformed with this.
incómodos. O sea, la misma gente que vive alrededor está incómoda con todo eso. Y ahora,
You know, the same people that they live around the neighborhood, they are really uncomfortable.
te imaginas nosotros como trabajadores,
Imagine me as a worker right there in that area.
¿cómo estamos? Estamos incómodos.
Imagine how we are. This is really bad.
El gobierno de los Estados Unidos cometió un error en haber dicho que iban a admitir a cierto número de personas.
The government of the United States, I asked him, the government of the United States committed a mistake of saying we are going to admit a certain amount of people.
Y ahora ya dicen que no.
And now, you know, the government of the United States, the current administration is saying now no.
Y algunos de ellos dicen que no le llaman una crisis migratoria a lo que estamos viviendo en todas las
And some of them, you know, some Americans, they're not calling it this a crisis
fronteras. ¿Tú cómo lo
in our
llamas?
borders.
Entonces, es una crisis,
How do you categorize it? You categorize it as a crisis because I see it as a crisis.
porque yo lo veo como una crisis.
Es una crisis, pero lamentablemente toda esa gente la tiene manipulada.
It is a crisis, but, you know, sadly, all those people that they're in there, that camp, they are manipulating them.
Ciertas personas que están allá adentro.
You know, they're manipulating them. Certain people, they're manipulating them inside of that camp.
Los tienen manipulados.
They're manipulating them
Porque le dicen que para pasado mañana van a la grieta y los
because they're telling them, you know, the day after tomorrow, they're going to open the border and you're going to cross.
van a meter y eso es una gran mentira.
And it is a huge lie.
Son como 3 o 4 personas las que los tienen manipulados.
There's like 3 or 4 people that they're manipulating the whole camp.
Toda esa gente.
Esas 3, 4 personas
And then I asked, those 3 or 4 people, they are, you know, U.S. citizens?
son ciudadanos americanos, son norteamericanos, son de aquí.
Algunas personas son de
You know, some people are from Honduras.
Honduras. Andan como 2 que son de Honduras y uno
And there's 2 people that they're from Honduras.
es del otro lado.
And there's one of them that is, you know, a citizen from the United States.
Llega en una camioneta, una Mercedes y
He comes in a really nice Mercedes SUV.
dice que se mete para adentro.
And he goes all the way inside.
Si te das cuenta, de hecho, una camioneta a ustedes periodistas
You know, if you look at right now, they don't let no journalists and nobody in there.
no los dejan meter para adentro. A nadie dejan pasar para adentro.
And they don't let nobody in the camp. Nobody in the camp. They're not letting nobody in the camp.
A nadie.
Nobody.
¿Te molesta bastante la situación como está en estos momentos? ¿Cuál crees que sería la solución ya para
You are really upset of the situation right now at this moment. What do you think it will be the solution right now to this?
mandar el mensaje hacia el gobierno del estado?
And to send a message to the government of state of how to fix this.
Pues el mensaje es de que pues venga y quite esta gente de aquí ya,
Well, the message is really simple. Just come and take away all these people from here.
porque lamentablemente pues ahora sí que pues fíjate cómo estamos, mira,
But yes, because look at how we are doing, us, the citizens, how we're doing.
sin trabajo, sin nada,
Without work, without money,
ni como llevar un sustento a tu, ahora sí que
and without taking, you know, the food to the table of our houses,
a la familia.
to our families.
Estamos afectados, somos nosotros, porque
We are the ones.
mucha gente les ayuda.
we are the ones that we are affected because these people are getting food, they're getting clothing,
comida, ropa. De hecho,
they're getting clothing on a daily day basis.
les dan ropa, se la ponen un día, al día siguiente la tiran
As a matter of fact, they give them clothes and they wear them one day and the next day they throw it on the trash.
al bote de basura. Llegan los basureros y ya no estamos llenos.
The trash department comes and they take away gallons of clothing.
De pura ropa, la tiran.
You know, they throw away the clothes.
Entonces no se me hace justo, pues. Entonces,
It's not fair. It's not fair for me that they're throwing away the clothes.
esa gente no tiene necesidad.
Those people don't have necessities if they're throwing away the clothes.
O sea, esa gente no tiene necesidad de pedir asilo. ¿Por qué hacen eso de que
Those people don't. They're not in the need of asking for asylum. Why they're throwing away the clothes?
gente llegue y les dé ropa y tiran la ropa? O
You know, people are giving them clothes. Why they're throwing it away?
sea, no se me hace justo.
It's not fair. I don't think it is fair.
Hay otras personas que realmente sí la ocupan.
There's a lot of people that they really need clothes, and these people are throwing away the clothes.
Que van a las colonias alrededor. Esa gente
If you go around the neighborhoods of our city, you know there's people that they need clothes.
sí ocupa.
That is the opinion. Wow, holy cow, holy cow. That's not me. That's his opinion, not me. Those are not my words. Those are his words. Oscar Blue was saying, and Oscar Blue is, oh my God, hate. No, promoting hate. No. It is an opinion of a taxi driver that works in that area. And that he's saying that those camps are manipulated by 2 or 3 people. And one of them is from the United States that he comes with a really nice automobile. And he enters all the way in. And he says, if a matter of fact, people like you, they don't let you in there. As a matter of fact, people like you, they don't let you in there. It's amazing. Look at this other interview. This is another interview that I did. This lady did not want to show her face, but you can actually hear her as she is explaining right now. She works on the side where the taxi drivers are located at their taxi station. So she gives food to the taxi drivers. So it was really, curiosity of me to go over there and ask her, how do you feel the taxi drivers, this business? Because the taxi drivers are getting affected right there at this area. How do you feel about the taxi drivers? Do you feel that they are being affected economically? And also, I ask her questions about the insecurity in terms to killings of women, because there's another problem that is occurring right here in our city, the enormous insecurities with killings of women. This is another interview of a, small business. As you can see, there's a jug right here at this video. There's a jug right there on the right-hand side. And that jug is put on a plastic table. That is where she is located at. You can see all the way to the back. There's taxi drivers. These taxi drivers go all the way around from the east door of San Isidro entrance to the west door, that is El Chaparral. Look what she says about the situation and the current, violence and delinquents of in terms of women, towards women, because she has 3 daughters, and also what she says about the situation in El Chaparral with the migrant camp Hope. Look what she says.
¿Qué tal? Muy buenas tardes, Oscar Blue para Oscar Blue Noticias. Estamos en vivo transmitiendo desde el puerto de entrada aquí en San Isidro y me acerco a una paisana tijuanense que tiene su negocio de pequeño contribuyente aquí.
How's everybody doing? I'm Oscar Blue. I'm right here located on the east side of the Chaparral Port of Entry, and I'm right here getting close to paisana. She is a mom and pop business owner, small business contributor, right here next to the cab drivers.
Al lado de los taxistas que están cerca de la entrada peatonal. Mi pregunta, la principal para
and they're close to the pedestrian entrance. My real quick question to you.
Me comentabas, tienes hijas. ¿Cómo te sientes ahorita en la cuestión de la seguridad con los feminicidios tan altos que existen en Tijuana, Baja California? Tu opinión.
And my question is to you. You were commentating that you have daughters. My question directly to you is, how do you feel right now with the enormous assassinations towards women in our city?
Sí, buenas tardes. Mira, lo que pasa es de que sí es algo riesgoso para nosotros como mujeres. De hecho, yo estoy aquí con una de mis hijas, son menores de edad. Tengo 3.
Yes, you know, it is really risky right now. And, you know, it's really difficult, the situation. As a matter of fact, I'm right here with all my daughters. They're all minors.
Y yo me encuentro con una. Somos mujeres, somos vulnerables para cualquier
We are women. We are vulnerable to this situation.
hombre. Y sí tenemos por tener, haz de cuenta que estamos, tememos más que nada. Yo como
We are afraid. You know, we are afraid as women. We are afraid.
madre tememos por la seguridad tanto de ellas como la mía.
You know, and me as a mother, I'm afraid to the security not only of mine, but of my daughters.
¿Crees que sería la solución para que esto ya se tuviera ya un control? Porque definitivamente ya existe el miedo, ¿no? Ya
What do you think is the solution, you know, for this to be controlled? Because now it is existing. It's the fear. It exists the fear.
no existe solamente el miedo, sino si te subes un taxi, ¿con quién te subes? Te subes un Uber, ¿con quién?
You know, it's not only just fear outside your house, it's just fear when you get on a taxi, on a normal taxi like the ones that you're seeing on the screen. But as an Uber, you don't even know who you're getting in the taxi with.
Te subes cuando vas a la casa, existe un miedo ya para la mujer.
There's an existing fear to the women.
Tiene que pasar para que se le regrese ese seguro.
What do you think that it needs to happen to bring back the security for the women of Tijuana to be, again, repeating the word, secure?
Vida a la mujer en nuestra ciudad.
Yo creo que más que nada viene siendo del mismo gobierno. Yo creo que así como ellos nos gobiernan y nos dicen.
You know, I think that it's more entirely the government. You know, I think that the government needs to, as they are governing us,
Dicen lo que tenemos que hacer, creo que ellos también tienen la obligación de poner más seguridad.
and, you know, as they are telling us what to do, I think that we can demand them to put the security factor to us.
Más alumbrado, por cuestiones de las colonias muy
More lighting, because a lot of the streets over here in Tijuana, we don't have electricity lighting. So she's asking more lighting because a lot of the neighborhoods in our city, they don't have electricity.
lejanas, con el alumbrado es muy poco o nulo. Entonces, aquí precisamente
The lighting on some neighborhoods that they are really far away, they don't have enough.
que estamos en la línea fronteriza, casi en el cruce a la nada, padecemos del alumbrado. Entonces,
You know, we are right here, you know, next to the port of entry, we are lacking of lighting. You know, we need more lamps, more electricity lamps right here for security for us.
sería una cuestión de más que nada de ellos, del mismo gobierno.
It will be a question of them, the government, you know, the own government are giving us solutions.
Hay una situación en el Chaparral.
There's a situation in El Chaparral.
Trabajas aquí al lado de taxistas.
We work on the side of taxi drivers.
Taxistas dan servicio ahí en el Chaparral.
They give service right there at the migrant camp in El Chaparral.
Tú dependes del turismo,
You depend on tourism,
dependes de los ingresos del taxista.
and you depend also on the income of the taxi driver.
¿Cómo has visto que afecta a los bolsillos y a las vidas de ustedes?
How do you see right now that it's affecting your pockets and it's affecting the taxi driver's pockets, this situation of El Chaparral?
Lo que está sucediendo ahorita en el Chaparral con la cuestión de los migrantes.
How do you feel that this is affecting you and affecting the pockets of the taxi drivers, and questions to this situation with the migrant camp in El Chaparral?
Sí, es algo muy, muy delicado lo que comentas.
Yes, it is something really delicate that you are commentating.
La salud de ellos es muy crítica porque he tenido la oportunidad de ir.
The health issues of them is really critical because I have the opportunity to go over there
Y de escuchar y ver noticias
and also to listen and to hear the news.
en donde está muy mal lo que es la sociedad de ellos.
And you know, where is really bad, the hygiene situation right there is really bad.
Ellos mismos, la higiene. Sí es algo crítico porque nosotros, como dices, nosotros dependemos del turista.
Yes, it's something critical because, as you say, you know, we depend of the tourist.
Del turismo total y ellos dependen del turismo.
And, you know, and I depend on the tourists and the cab drivers depend on the tourist.
Y yo dependo de ellos y del mismo taxista.
And I depend on the tourist and I depend on the same cab driver.
Entonces, prácticamente sí afecta demasiadísimo.
And yes, it is affecting the situation in the Chaparral. It is affecting a lot our pockets.
En cuestión de la economía, más que nada.
¿Has visto cierta molestia de los taxistas o has visto ya una cierta desesperación? Porque
Have you seen, a certain attitude from the taxi drivers, or, desperation of the taxi drivers?
también ellos están pasando por una situación crítica, los
Because, not only the migrants are going through a critical situation,
migrantes ahí en ese lugar, pero también los ciudadanos tijuanenses, ¿no? Los taxistas y usted.
and not only the migrants are going through a critical situation, but you and the cab drivers are, it affects you. It's also you are going through a critical situation.
Ustedes están pasando una situación también económica. ¿Has visto una molestia sobre la situación?
Have you seen, a different attitude of the taxi drivers that due to this situation?
Más que nada la molesta la inconformidad con la autoridad.
More than being upset is the being inconform with the authority. We are really upset of the authority, the government.
Porque se molestan obviamente porque precisamente por culpa de ellos.
Because they are upset, the cab drivers, and they are really upset because this is the government's fault.
No pueden abrir en la totalidad.
Because they don't go over there and they handle the situation and they cannot open totally El Chaparral.
La frontera. En cuestión de que pues que ellos dicen es que no podemos ni bajarnos porque el aroma es.
And, the cab drivers are saying, we cannot even get out of the car right there at the Camp Hope because the smell is so bad.
Fatal. Entonces dicen, es que, ¿qué hacemos? Entonces se vienen a este lado.
So they say, what do we do? So they come to this side, on the east side.
Es menos el trabajo.
It's less the job over here. There's less opportunity of work over here.
Entonces ahí la autoridad es la que debe de poner el orden.
So there is the effect, and right there is where the authority needs to put the order.
Que se supone que ellos son los.
Mucha gente en Estados Unidos no está llamando esto porque no viven.
A lot of people, I ask this question a lot because I want to clarify this statement that they are, trying to create this challenge statement. The leftist people and the Democratic people in the United States of America, it is a challenge. It is a challenge. So I'm asking the real people that they live over here in Tijuana if they consider it a challenge or a crisis. So I ask consistently this question. A lot of people in the United States are saying that this is that this is not a crisis.
Pero mucha gente.
And I say there's a lot of people in the United States that they're not calling it a crisis because they don't live over here.
Norteamericano, Estados Unidos dice no es una crisis.
And a lot of people are saying it's not a crisis.
Lo que está pasando ahorita con los migrantes.
That is happening with the migrants.
Hay más de 13,000 niños que han cruzado no acompañados hacia.
There's more than 13,000 kids that they are right now in detention facilities in the United States.
Los Estados Unidos en estos momentos. Yo lo considero una crisis.
I consider it a crisis. What do you consider it?
Sí, claro. Definitivamente sí, estamos en la crisis total.
Yes, definitely. Yes, definitely. It's clear we are in a total crisis.
Sí lo es porque
yes, it is.
Nos afecta como frontera.
Yes, because it affects us as a border.
Nosotros estamos aquí para trabajar,
we are right here to work,
para contribuir y
to contribute,
adelante con nuestros hijos,
and to move forward with our family and sons and daughters,
nuestra familia,
and with our family.
Y ellos nos afectan.
And this situation right now in the Chaparral, it affects us.
Al final de cuentas, yo no digo que para qué se vinieron, no, simplemente.
At the end of the day, I'm not saying why you came over here, but simply what I'm stating is,
que tuvieran el orden, si realmente están muy.
If they were really orderly and they were migrating in an orderly fashion, and I think that if you're migrating from one country to another is to work and to move forward, not to provoke economical situations to other people, and not to cause problems to the other country or another country or state.
Pues muchísimas gracias.
And I said, thank you so much. Wow, another interview from holy cow. This is not me. These are Tijuana citizen people. My God, you're creating hate. I'm not. I'm just stating what their opinion is. And this is another interview. And this is, look, for people that they don't accept the fact that this is a crisis. This is the last interview right here. And it is a migrant from Honduras. He was, I saw him on the far side and he said, you doing interviews? I said, yes, where you from? And he said, I'm from Honduras. And he was at the Plaza of El Chaparral. So I asked him, what is his opinion? And first and foremost, this is a migrant. This is not a Democrat. This is not a leftist, an activist. This is not a right wing. This is not a right wing extremist, how they call it. This is not a white extremist, extreme right extremist. This is a migrant. I'm a Tijuana citizen. I'm a Mexican. I'm asking him, do you consider the situation right now in El Chaparral, in this migration situation, a crisis? The own people from the camp and the own people from the camp, they're calling it like it is. Hear this interview from that I did to this Honduras migrant.
Oscar Blue, para Oscar Blue, señores, muy buenas tardes. Estamos aquí con un migrante de Honduras.
How is everybody doing? Oscar Blue right here. We are right here with a migrant from Honduras.
Prácticamente, pues le acabo de hacer una pregunta.
Practically, I just asked him a question.
¿Cómo ves el campamento en el Chaparral está
How do you see the migrant camp in El Chaparral?
afectando a negocios alrededor?
It is affecting businesses around.
Y me dice que sí. ¿Cómo ves?
It is affecting businesses around the migrant camp in El Chaparral. And I ask him, how do you see this situation?
Esa situación, el campamento en el Chaparral está afectando negocios alrededor.
The migrant camp in El Chaparral is affecting businesses around. This is a migrant that is inside the camp of El Chaparral. And look what he says.
Pienso que la verdad sí, pues
Yes, I believe, yes, it is affecting.
vemos muchos
There is a lot of us.
y sí se ve que sí, la verdad sí está afectando.
And yes, you can see that it is affecting the local businesses.
Los negocios y todo eso.
El gobierno norteamericano, por parte de Joe Biden, dijo, voy
The American government from Joe Biden,
a dejar entrar a 125,000
he said that he was going to let in 125,000 people.
personas y voy a dejar entrar de 300 diarios.
And he said that he was going to let in 300 per day.
Hasta ahorita, ¿ustedes cómo han visto esa respuesta de parte de
Till now, how you guys have feel that response from the President Joe Biden?
Pues hasta ahorita no se ha visto nada, estamos en espera porque
Until now, we haven't seen anything and we are waiting.
más por eso nos afocamos y nos venimos porque fue lo que
And we just, that's the reason why we are focusing, and that is why we are focused, because he
dijo de que iba a dar el apoyo,
that he said that he was going to support us.
pero no se ha visto nada, todavía estamos en espera
And we haven't seen anything and we are still waiting
a ver qué pasa.
to see what happens.
Hay una situación muy crítica en estos momentos que son los niños no acompañados.
There's a really horrible situation right now with the unaccompanied minors.
Ahorita están en los centros de detenciones en Estados Unidos más
They are right now in the detention centers in the United States, more than 13,000 unaccompanied minors.
de 13,000 niños. Mucha gente norteamericana no quiere aceptar esto, que
A lot of American people, U.S. citizen people, they don't want to accept this, that there is a crisis.
es una crisis humanitaria y es
And it is a crisis, and it is a humanitarian crisis,
una crisis migratoria,
and it is a migrant crisis,
porque tú la vives en Honduras,
because you live it in Honduras,
yo la vivo aquí en México.
and I live it over here in Mexico.
Es una crisis para ti.
It is a crisis for you. This is a migrant. And look what he says.
La verdad sí, es una
Yes. To be honest with you, yes.
crisis que se está viviendo
It is a crisis that we are living,
y hay un montón de niños, muchos
and there's a lot of children
niños también que están sufriendo mucho en el
there's a lot of children that they're suffering right now in El Chaparral.
Chaparral y es la verdad pues sí está bien difícil.
And yes, it is the truth. It is really hard.
¿Qué mensaje le mandas al gobierno norteamericano que ahora Joe Biden dice, al parecer dijo, no, sabes que siempre no?
What message do you send the government of Joe Biden? Because practically he just said, no, right now, no, stay home.
Entonces, ¿qué mensaje le mandas ahora al gobierno de Joe Biden?
Okay, what is the message that you send to Joe Biden?
Pues el mensaje que le manda Joe Biden que pues que y a todo el Congreso
The message that I sent to Joe Biden and to all Congress,
de que se toquen el alma y que tan siquiera que dé visas de trabajo.
okay, that he's saying that the message that I sent to Joe Biden, please touch his heart and give us work visas,
Como lo ha hecho el gobierno
like the government of Mexico has done.
mexicano de que se ha dado visas de
The government of Mexico has gave us work visas
permisos para entrar y trabajar.
and also permits to enter and work.
que tan siquiera, pues, que nos apoye tan siquiera con una visa de trabajo.
You know, that at least support us with a migrant visa of work. Wow. Another interview. Last one that I did. How's everybody doing? I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News and America's Voice News. God bless everybody that is watching. Live from Tijuana, Mexico. As today we went around, you know, some local businesses in around the area of El Chaparral. That is a really well-known neighborhood by the name of Colonia Federal. That is federal neighborhood. That is the name. And we asked local business owners and Tijuana citizens how they have been affected by the migrant cap hope. And also, you know, ultimately, we asked them about the insecurity issue that is not because of the migrant cap, the insecurity issue in Tijuana due to the fact of the enormous assassinations towards women and also homicides towards men. Also, that nobody's talking about that. Wow. Holy cow. These are Tijuana citizens. They're not my words. They're their words. And I'm just asking, as I am going to be going around walking and, you know, and doing interviews through the whole federal neighborhood and also ultimately through other, you know, really tough neighborhoods around our city to ask them about how do they feel about the insecurity in our city of Tijuana. And also if this is a migrant crisis or not. Tijuana is a beautiful city that opens the doors for every migrant. It is a multicultural city, and I have said it before. Beautiful people have come over here, and they are providers to our economy. But the situation right there in El Chaparral, it is difficult. Migrants are sleeping right there in horrible conditions, and kids are sleeping right there in horrible conditions. It is a sensitive topic. It is a sensitive issue, but they don't look at how it is affecting outside. Not the migrants, the organizations that are keeping them there, the Department of Human Rights, that they are not, you know, pushing the issue for them to be moved into a shelter where they can be more secure and not, you know, on the expectancy of being aggravated by some, you know, aggression by some other person, and they can be protected under a roof and not under a difficult condition. But this is all because a pastor from the shelter Agape has said it, and a lot of people had said it. It is confusion. No governmental official from the current administration has come out and said, this is how we're going to do it. This is how the process for asylum. This is how the process for refugee is going to be handled. This is how it's going to do it. Please go to the shelters. Please go to this and then apply online or do this or do that. In the meantime, that nobody's doing anything, this situation is happening. Holy cow. Have a good evening, everybody. It was a pleasure doing a live feed for you guys. God bless every single one of you. You can follow my partner, Real Anthony Agüero. You can follow him at Facebook, YouTube, Parler, Orbeez, and also his channel in Telegram. You can follow also our colleague, Ben Berquam at Frontline America, and also Real America's Voice News. You can download the app at Rumble. And also, you can follow Will Johnson and the Unite America First. You can follow me as Oscar Blue at Facebook, YouTube, and also Instagram. And ultimately, you can follow me and my channel at Telegram as Oscar L. Blue. God bless you all. It has been a pleasure talking to you guys. It is an honor, and it is a pride to be born in this beautiful land of Mexico. And it is an honor to be a Latino. God bless the United States of America. Stay safe. And like we always say, peace and love, everybody. Because always, your country's first. God bless.
solicitamos. Y ya van días y varias semanas.
He hasn't given no response, and it's been days and it's been weeks, and he hasn't said anything. Y espero logren su objetivo de la justicia a su país. Luchen por su país. Say the best sacrifice for your country. Están bloqueando el acceso. ¡Viva! Porque la Policía Federal o la autoridad nos está deteniendo el acceso y nos está deteniendo el paso para poder cruzar hacia el Zócalo, señores.